Tuesday, everybody, we are getting the pump we were expecting. And if you watch my channel, you already know we are getting this pump. And you know my targets for this pump. This is S&P 500. If I go to regular trading hours, you can see a yellow line. And I was telling you before, if you see my update yesterday, there was a gap fill here around 446 and we filled that gap. So I removed that gap fill line. Now my next target is 456. This is the Fitch downgrade gap. And this also, if you look at futures, also we had that gap. This is very rare that we get gaps on future. This is live, runs 23 hours a day. Very rare to get this gap fill. So even on futures we have this gap, and on S&P 500 we are now heading there. So also we made a new high. So you can see this high is higher than previous high. So this is a new uptrend. So higher highs, higher lows. And from now, futures, I think most likely we're going to go hit 1.6% more higher. And Labor Day weekend is coming up in US. So usually stock market is very bullish during the Labor Day weekend. And everything is going as planned, and even US 100, which is Nasdaq, triple Qs. This is tech sector. You can see this Fitch downgrade, US rating downgrade. This was gap down, and now also on this also we're going high. You can see we just recently made futures made a new high. You can see it's higher. This high is higher than previous high. So low, higher low. And now we're making a higher high. So this is forming a new uptrend on 1 hour chart. And triple Qs, the targets are now we're reaching some resistance. You can see this downward sloping trend line is also there. So maybe we can consolidate here for a bit. That's quite possible to gain some momentum. And also there's also these gaps here on triple Qs as of close today. The first gap is around 2% away. The second gap is around 2.8% away. So we are still heading higher. And if I go to daily chart, you can see this here. We can draw a trend line like this, downward sloping trend line. We're right in the resistance area. You can see this confluence here. This was broke out here, support here. Again, we came down, and now we are back testing it. So if bears show up, they need to show up here to turn it down. If they don't show up here, we are heading higher. And if I bring moving averages on triple Qs, you can see what's happening. We broke above all moving averages. Let me show you NDX chart. This is the NDX chart. You can see what's happening here. Let me get rid of these lines so you can see NDX price action. This candle here today broke above all previous lines here, all EMA lines. So this is 50 SMA line. This is a bullish breakout. Okay, looks very, very bullish. And if I go to weekly chart, let me get you another indicator. And I shared with the members and with everybody even yesterday. So you can see this channel. This is a EMA channel. So every time whenever we go too far away from green EMA line, stock market comes back to gather energy and then go higher. Okay, so the most likely this is the bottom, and we won't see another price going lower below this. You can see why I'm saying this. You can see in a bull market, which I think we are now, every time price goes above this green line, first green line, it comes back to either touch the green line, or a lot of times it comes to very close to touching the red line, and sometimes even in the past it goes slightly below and it touches the red line as well. So you can see this was 2020 year 20. Every time we went higher, came back to touch this green line, gather energy, bounce, came back, gather energy, bounce, came back, gather energy, bounce, bounce, came back, and same thing is now here as well. So now we're going higher, came back, gathered energy, and bounce. So let's see what happens. So every time we go down, the next weekly candle, if it's not below, if it starts going higher, that means the bottom is in. So based on this scenario, so you can see we came back here, we bounced, and then the low, we could get a low like this, but we can get in October another low, but that low will not be below previous low. So just keep that in mind. So I think most likely we have seen a bottom already. So we could get a rejection here, maybe after we fill those gaps, which I showed you, Fitch downgrade, we can get a new low that will be higher than this low. That's quite possible. Again, touch this line and then bounce, but the bottom is in, guys. That's what this indicator is telling me. You can see every time here. Every time we make a weekly candle higher, you can see another low is always higher than previous low. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. So looks like the bottom is in, and now there is, in my opinion, still a little bit more room. Although on short short-term time frames, we are in sell zone, but you can see even NDX here, there's a gap here, you can see daily gap, and if I go to 1 hour chart, that gap is around here around 15,700, around 15,700. So even on Nasdaq NDX from today's close, 15,700, we are around 2% higher. Okay, that's what my target. And so that gap, first gap is here. There's another gap here. You can see there was a gap down here, so it could go there, but I'll be looking to take profits at around 2.2% away from here. Just be mindful that we are near resistance, so there could be a little bit of cool down. Maybe tomorrow we can have a consolidation day, if not a breakout day, but just keep that in mind. All right. Okay, so now let me get rid of this indicator and go to daily chart. So now you already know my targets. From QQQ is here, and S&P 500 is also the targets are. Let me quickly show you back S&P 500 SPY. The targets are 456. By the way, guys, if you like this content, please hit the like button. It takes you 1 second to hit the like. And I do have a Discord group where I'm sharing a screenshot of the sell and buy zones. I'll show you towards the end of this channel, and that's very, very helpful. Okay, so you can see, let me quickly show you a sneak peek of what it looks like. So you can see 1 minute chart. I share my updates in Discord. I just take a screenshot from my phone and I update it. It's very quick. And it's very, very helpful to a lot of participants there, and it's free to join Discord. And if you want to get a pre-market update and post-market update, you can even join this channel. It's only like $7, very cheap. One trade can make you subscription fees for the whole year. Okay, you can see what I was telling here last Friday. This is the small time frame indicator. 1 minute chart. We were in the buy zone here, and people were scared. We were in the buy zone. I told everybody this is where you want to buy here, and then boom. Now look what happened from there. Now we are in extreme sell zone. We are towards third standard deviation. So ideally, I would like to see a little bit of cool down, because this usually near third standard deviation is not sustainable. So I think we're going to have a little bit of cool down, and then you can see how moving average is also going higher. So that will put some downwards pressure on the price action. Looking for a little bit cool down. It could come as low as 44.55 and then bounce again. Okay, so tomorrow, if in the morning we get some dip around 0.5 to maybe like 1%, don't be surprised. That's healthy dip. Then we're gonna go higher to another new highs, or at least at minimum looking for a gap fill. Same thing on QQQs. Sorry, Nasdaq 100. Again, same gap fill. So let's go to daily chart. I want to show you something else here. So if I draw a fib retracement on S&P 500, let's quickly look at that SPY. So if this is the cash market. So if I draw a fib retracement from the top here to the, oops, sorry, I got the wrong tool here. I need to get the right fib retracement here. So from the highs to the lows here, if I draw a fib retracement, you can see we are right near 0.618. This is where this bounce bears need to show up right now, right here. And also this is where the trend line is also going. So this looks like a back test of trend line. So if bears need to short, this is the best zone for them to short. And if we break above this trend line, then we are hitting high. We're going to hit 456, but I still think that's going to happen. But we could get like a consolidated candle tomorrow, and then maybe on Thursday we're going to go higher and break out. But this is where the golden channel 0.618 is where we'll find resistance, and it's same thing on QQQs. If I draw a fib retracement from high to low, you can see same thing is happening here. Exactly here, this is where, and also downward sloping trend line. Multiple resistances are acting here. So if bears show up, they have to show up right here, right now. Okay, this is your last opportunity before market goes up and pumps to fill those gaps. All right. Okay, so now we are done with that. So let's quickly look into Dow Jones. This is DIA ETF. You can see also above all moving averages. So we're gonna get rid of this yellow line. Looks like you want to go higher first, fill this gap, and then maybe we'll come back later, but now looks like we're getting higher to fill this gap. IWM looks like it's same thing here. We're gonna get rid of this. Looks like it wants to go and fill it. There's another resistance here around 189, but it's going higher to fill this gap, it looks like. All right, so let's quickly look at gold. You can see gold is in the resistance area. This is where you can see this whole area, a lot of confluence here. We're now going higher, although it's above all moving averages, but this is where it should be finding a little bit of resistance here. So I'm looking for gold to little bit of sell off here and then make another attempt to maybe, I don't know if it's going to break previous low, maybe a little bit of sell off and then go higher. But gold is just starting. You can see what was happening here. I don't see any divergences here. So that's the only thing which is bothering me. I would like to see a new low form with some divergence on PP and RSI to be bullish on gold. But this is where you should be looking to take profits. Silver here, same thing. You can see silver is actually very bullish compared to gold. And you can see it was flagging, now going higher. So I think it wants to go to maybe silver is looking extremely bullish, guys. It was holding trend line, support, 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 and coming back to support and now going higher. Let me get rid of this EMA line so it's clear here. You can see very nicely right now. So I think we're just going in, heading higher after a flag. So that's the new target. Natural gas looking very good, holding the support. You can see on 1 hour chart, natural gas was, you can see this trend line also broke. So I'm going to get rid of this trend line now. So this is done. Yeah, this is done. So let's go back to daily chart. You can see holding nice trend line, little bit of stop rate here. Now again, right, this candle yesterday or today's candle is very bullish. This looks like a reversal candle. Key price came all the way back below trend line and now going higher. So looking nice, looking for a pump here. Crude oil also by the dip. Looks like it wants to go high. This is a resistance, approaching resistance around $82. Dollar exactly where I wanted to see weakness. You can see this is the resistance. I'm expecting more lower prices. That's going to be bullish for gold and Bitcoin. And then you can see what happened on Bitcoin. If you saw my channel from yesterday, I was telling everybody that this is where Bitcoin is holding support. You can see support here, and it broke out, came back tested here, again consolidated, and again came to support. And you want to buy on support, one support here, and then another trend line support, and a breakout, boom. Okay, so every time we go down straight, go up straight, go down, come down straight, and now we're going up again. So looks like we're gonna have another pump to find some resistance here around 32K. Ethereum will follow same as Bitcoin. You can see same thing here. A lot of support here around 1600 to 1700 and massive bounce here. Okay, so things are looking good for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let's bring in moving averages and see what's happening on Bitcoin. A little bit of resistance here between this is 50 EMA and this is 50 SMA, yellow and red line. So it really wants to, but the good thing is holding above this blue line, which is 200 SMA. So it's broke out, just back testing. I think it's getting ready for another pump. So yeah, time to be short is gone on Bitcoin. This is time to go long. All right. And let's look at gold miners. Since we talked about gold, Newmont mine right in the buy zone. This is the support area. Actually, let's go to 1 hour chart and see if we filled any gaps. Let me get this extended here. Okay, so there is still gap fill, multiple gaps. So this is the biggest gold miner. So I think there's a lot of upside here. Very near new lows, 52 weeks low. Gold miner, another pump going higher. I think it closed another gap. There was a gap here. You can see this gap around 29 bucks. It's filled. Now there's another gap here around 31.38. And you can see it can now go and recover and it can go to that target. But just be mindful that there's another gap at the bottom. So I'm not sure if we're going to go lower from here, fill this gap first before we go higher, or we're going higher first and then come back down. Okay, so I'm not sure, but today was a good day to take profits on gold miner. I'll show you on short-term chart. Looks very extended gold miners. Let's look at sectors. XLK, this is tech sector, nothing changed, going higher. There's a gap fill here around 178. XLK is going higher. XLE by the dip, closed kind of flat, but I think there's a gap here, so looking higher, looking good to go fill that gap. XLV, which is healthcare, also looks like it wants to go and fill this gap. XLU is the, if you're still wondering what to buy, look, you can buy XLU utilities still below this trend line, and still very good time to buy. And you don't want to buy when it's very bullish. This is where this is just consolidating. You can see new lows on higher momentum on PPO and RSI. This is an indication that it's just consolidating. Momentum is going higher. You can see this low is higher than this low with higher PPO and RSI. Momentum here, you can see here. Sorry, this thing is something like this, okay? And you can see it's higher momentum. It's going to be an explosive breakout whenever that happens. XLI going higher. The only thing which is there's a gap here on 1 hour, but they don't need to be filled right now. It can happen later on. So looks like it wants to go make a new high. XLRE, real estate sector, fill this gap so we can get rid of this. I was telling everybody buy on support. It was on support and now going higher. So everything is fine. XLF also, you can see nicely on support, holding support and going higher. There are multiple gaps to fill. KRE, regional bank ETF, is also multiple gaps to the up. There's also a gap to the down. So I don't know if it's going to go down first to fill that gap or if it's going to go higher. Regardless, both gaps will be filled. So you can pick a decision based on what you think is right. And let's look at some tech stocks. Apple, you can see this is a gap fill, so it's going from here to fill this gap. This first gap is around almost 3.6%. It was very bullish today. In the event, they announced Apple iPhone 15 is coming soon. It's finding some resistance here, broke above 50 EMA, but right above 50 SMA. If it breaks above that, then it's getting higher to close this gap around 192, 190.66 very soon. Tesla, very nice. You can see I was telling everybody buy Tesla on support. This was a fake out move, a gap here, and you can see consolidation here, and today boom broke out. So looks like it wants to go here. There's a gap here. Looks like Tesla from here wants to go fill this gap, which is around 13% away. 291 is the target. Microsoft trying its best to go above this trend line. So still a good time to buy Microsoft, okay? If it goes above this trend line, that's going to be very bullish. There are multiple gaps, yellow. So looking for 349. So from today's close, look, that gap is around 6% away, all right? Google, very nice gap up. Let's see if we fill this gap. No, still not fill that gap. Gap up, but nothing changed. Holding this trend line, but lower momentum on PPR and RSI. But if it keeps going higher, that will be burned through. Meta, Facebook, again looking to go higher, fill this gap, nothing changed. Amazon holding this trend line, it came below this trend line and today back above this trend line, boom. So I think from here, Amazon is going higher. Netflix almost 3% up, holding this trend line very, very nicely. You can see such a nice trend line for a while since July 2022. And again, same thing, holding this trend line going higher. Snowflakes, multiple gaps to the top side. I think it's getting higher there. NVDA, sky is the limit. There's a gap here. So if anytime it comes back to fill this gap, it's going to be nice to buy at that time. But I think looks like it wants to go higher. And AMD, you can see this whole area of support. Came back below this trend line, got support, people bought it, now getting ready to go above this trend line. All right, let's look at commodities. Copper, nicely by the dip scenario now, it came to this support, now looking to go higher. Palladium, you can see it was going bullish, falling wedge, broke out, again back in this support area, bought 1, bought 2, bought 3, holding this support area very nice, and now looking to go higher. Wheat is very weak, but it's, you can see this was bullish falling wedge with higher PPO and RSI momentum, broke out, backtested once, broke out, backtested 2, and now again on backtest of this trend line. So this is where you want to buy wheat on the backtest of the trend line. Okay, corn is struggling, but wait for it to go above this resistance here around 5.2. Once it recovers, it's going to be very bullish. Soya beans, very nicely was in the buy zone, now going higher, so it's by the dip. Sugar, also holding this trend line very nicely, now broke above this resistance area, so now it's become support. So I think it's getting higher to getting ready for a new all-time highs. Let's look at VIX, down 4%. Oh, it filled that gap very nicely. Wow. Okay, let's go to 1 hour, which I think there's still a little bit of left. Actually, the gap is right down here, so I have to correct that. So gap is here. Actually, there's another gap. That's very interesting development here. I just saw it now. You can see there's another gap here, around here. And there's another, oops, sorry, I got the wrong tool. Let me hide these lines here. So the gaps, the multiple gaps, so which is very good news that we have multiple gaps, which I did not realize. So on 1 hour chart, so a gap here, another gap here. So looks like this gap is still not filled. So other gaps are also getting to the lower side. So that means there's still room for VIX to go down. And my final target on VIX is 13.34. All right. So looking for more lower prices on VIX from here. All right, let's see what else is left. Let's quickly look at anything else which is here. I think I covered most of it. Let's quickly now go into quick zones for tomorrow, like short-term zones, and see what's happening with the buy and sell zones. And let's go to 1 minute chart, and this is how it's looking like right now. So you can see S&P 500 is looking very extended. It's above near third standard deviation. This is where ideally you will be looking to short, like a just remember long-term chart. I'm expecting gap, which I told you earlier on, to fill, so do not be heavy short. Look for these dips to buy. If it comes to neutral zone tomorrow, that will be good area to buy again, but this is where you want to not go long. Ideally you want to take profits. Nasdaq 100 also looks very extended, so if you get a little bit of dip in the morning, that's very healthy. If you get a dip all the way to 15,181, very healthy to buy again. US 30 Dow Jones, it's not as overextended as Nasdaq and S&P 500 near first standard line, so still if it gets lower, look to buy it. And Russell 2000 is also near the sell zone, so looking for dip. This is where you want to take profits. Triple Qs, let me bring extended hours back. You can see also looking very, very extended near third standard deviation. Look for it. Look for dips to come. Gold also in the sell zone. So everything looks like is in the sell zone. So I don't recommend buying here. I recommend basically selling, taking profits here. Silver also. Actually, silver is coming back to neutral zone, which is good news. So if it comes back to 24.49, that's a good area to buy again. Natural gas is now also in the neutral zone here, so if it falls below 2.61, look to buy. Crude oil near sell zone, so looking for a dump here. Dollar near buy zone, so that's a bit concerning short term. So tomorrow maybe dollar will bounce, and gold and stock market will go down based on what the setup looks like. Because they are inversely correlated, so that's what I'm saying. It's a good time to take profits today or early morning. Bitcoin massive pump, now getting on the sell zone, but buy zone is now around 26,553. It will change as the day goes and as the time progresses. Ethereum also in the sell zone. Buy zone is below 1670 as of now, and I don't think it's worth to go through stocks because everything is in the sell zone. You can see Tesla, Microsoft, everything is very overextended. Apple is near third standard deviation, so all the stocks are in near sell zone. Even Toronto Stock Exchange is near sell zone. Actually, this gap is filled, so I'm gonna go get rid of this. And Hang Seng Index, China is also in your sell zone. So everything is looking, let's quickly look at commodities. Copper is also there in the neutral zone. Wheat is only one, apparently looking like it's in the buy zone. So you should be looking to buy wheat. Corn is also touching the buy zone. Soya beans is also near buy zone. Sugar, let's quickly look at sugar is near sell zone. Let's look at any stocks which were red. McDonald in neutral zone, and Coca-Cola is also actually this gap is filled, so also near neutral zone now. And healthcare is also in near neutral zone. CVS Health also near neutral zone. Pfizer is also near neutral zone. So nothing much, nothing. I don't see anything to buy. Neo also bounced after massive dump, so everything is looking like you have to wait. Be patient, guys, to get buy zones again. But for now, look to take profits and lightly short if you want. Okay, guys, take care and good luck. Bye.